Kevin Costner is one of the most successful actors of all time, there is no doubt about that. But this doesn't necessarily mean that he's immune to failing, like ever. In fact, based on his trajectory over the past couple of years, it seems like in the future we will be referring to the 2020s as the worst decade of Kevin's career. Yes, things got that concerning since he left Yellowstone to the point that he's now facing bankruptcy. Yes, you heard it right. Our beloved Kevin is facing the risk of losing everything over his dream project Horizon. I can hear you screaming at the screen, how? After all, Kevin is one of the highest earning celebrities in Hollywood. How come he can fall so deep? Well, let's go back to the very beginning of Kevin's downfall, shall we? Everything started when Kevin decided to leave the biggest show of the past decade, Yellowstone. At the time, this decision sounded abrupt to all of us, like, why would he leave such a hit behind when it was clear that the series still had so much story to tell? Well, it turns out the behind the scenes drama was just as wild as anything Yellowstone gave us on screen. According to some resources, scheduling conflicts were the main issue behind his departure. Others say it was creative disagreements or even clashing egos. Whatever the cause, Yellowstone went from a slow burn to a rushed wrap up in just a couple of months, and yeah, we all hated it. At the time, Kevin himself had weighed in on the drama as he said, "What you read in the end was that I said, look, I'm doing my movie. If you want me to work a week because you want to kill me or whatever else, I can give you a week. I really didn't have that week to give them, but I said, I'll do that." And then they spun that into, "I only wanted to work a week." To make things even more complicated, Kevin also revealed that he had a contract for seasons 5, 6, and 7. But midway through, the deal changed. Instead of 3 full seasons, it became seasons 5A and 5B with a vague, indefinite stance on season 6. As you can imagine, Kevin was not happy about this sudden shift as he said, "I made a contract for seasons 5, 6, and 7. They wanted to redo that one, and instead of seasons 6 and 7, it was 5A and 5B, and maybe we'll do 6. Let me know if you think Kevin was right or not in leaving Yellowstone. Regardless, though, Yellowstone has ended prematurely, and Kevin moved on to his next and supposedly biggest project to this day, Horizon. Now, if you didn't know, this is the project Kevin has been dreaming about and working on for decades. He co-wrote it, directed it, and even invested $38 million of his own money into making it happen. The man even mortgaged his house to bring this Western epic to life. Yes, it is that serious for him. And yet, despite his dedication, things have not gone smoothly, to say the least. Horizon was initially imagined to be released in multiple parts. So far, we only got the first 2 chapters, and even in that, the second one's release was less than favorable. First, the distributors delayed its release indefinitely, and then upon Kevin's extreme efforts and search for an investor, the movie managed to be released at the Venice Film Festival, and that was it. As if all of these are not enough, right now, behind the scenes, there's a legal mess brewing. Apparently, the production company behind Horizon is in a dispute with New Line Cinema and City National Bank. The studio claims the financing deal was breached and says it had to cover payments the Horizon team didn't make. The things got so heated that New Line is even pushing for arbitration. I mean, I'm not a legal expert by any means, but I know this. If this escalates, Kevin could lose millions. So just take a second and imagine going from being the highest paid actor on TV to mortgaging your home for a movie that's still fighting to see daylight. Well, that's exactly where Kevin is right now. Now, you may think that all of these happened because of Taylor as he caused Kevin to leave Yellowstone, and to be honest, I don't think it would be so wrong. However, despite everything, Kevin says he still has love for Yellowstone and the world it created. In fact, he hasn't even entirely closed the door on returning, of course, if things are on his terms. In a recent interview, he said, "I liked the people on the show, I liked what it was about, I love that world. I've always felt that it might be an interesting moment to come back and finish the mythology of this modern-day family, and if that happens, I would step into it if I agreed with how it was being done." To be honest, even though it's been a long while since he's gone and the show is already over, I miss John Dutton to this day. Let me put it this way, I miss that version of Yellowstone where there was John in it as the ultimate patriarch. And although there is a slim chance for him to return to the franchise anytime soon, I still cherish it whenever he makes such hopeful remarks. But let me know what you think about Kevin potentially reprising his part as John Dutton. So where does all of this leave Kevin? Well, if Horizon works, it can still completely redefine his career despite its shortcomings so far. After all, it is clear that he's betting big, both creatively and financially. And when you bet big, you either thrive big or fall big. We all know that. And Kevin knows the stakes as well. As he said in Cannes right after the premiere of the first Horizon movie, I've had a really unique career. I've taken chances. This is just another one of those moments. And if it doesn't work, he's already said he's ready to pivot. If I don't get to do the third and fourth ones, that's okay, because I'll die going, I did what I wanted to do. And you know what? Good for him. Watch this video to see what will happen in the Yellowstone prequel 1944.